Hi.
Hello.
Do you want me in here or not?
You can, if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
I'm not here listening. I'll just go for it.
Tyler's gonna listen.
Oh God.
Don't mind me. Is it
Don't
Andrea?
be. She said, "Oh God, don't be nervous. It's just Tyler."
Oh, I'll leave. It's all good.
I'm so nervous.
Courtney, do you have your bright light on? There's like a bright light shining on your face.
I can get in my underwear. If I
Is that
need
better?
No, I'm just picking at you, girl.
Is that better?
You look beautiful either way.
Stop it. I just wanted to look like an angel.
Okay, then turn the light back on.
Tyler just said, "I can get in my underwear if that makes her less nervous."
Please.
You don't want that.
Oh yeah, not anyway.
What?
Running shorts.
Oh my gosh. Then he goes, "I'm not even wearing underwear right now. I have running shorts on." Oh geez. Okay, I'm gonna give everyone like 1 minute and then we will get started. Jill, are you on? I wanted to say hi to you. I see your little name down there in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi. Nice to finally like see you, meet you kind of. So welcome. This is our team call. We switched times tonight. It's normally a half hour later, but Courtney has work, so we just pushed it back. So there probably won't be as many people on. But this is kind of what we do every Tuesday. We hang out together. One of us talks or we get a guest speaker. And I just thought tonight would be a good one for you to jump on to meet Courtney and meet the team and just say hi to everyone. Jalen's doing her workout. I still need to do my workout today.
Sit down and listen to me, Jay.
She is. I mean, Jay, you could totally have us watch you do your workout.
Yes, please be a distraction.
All right, so actually let's just dive in and get started because I do not want Courtney to be late for work. I'm trying to find the record. Oh, it's recording already. Well, that's going to be awkward for everyone to watch the beginning. Talking about Tyler in his underwear and not in his underwear. I set it up today for automatic record, or at least I tried to in case I was driving, and I guess it worked. So now we know. But welcome, guys, when you're watching the recording. Today is the 12th of June. Summit is next week. I can't even believe it. We leave Wednesday. So we'll probably still have our team call Tuesday night beforehand. Sorry if you can hear Kaya like moaning and playing in the back. I am so excited for tonight's call. I'm going to mute everyone real quick, and then unmute Courtney. There's like honestly nothing I love more than when I have someone on our team speaking on these calls. And just to give you guys kind of a full circle moment, and if you're feeling frustrated and you're like, I can't get anyone to sign up and it feels like it's just me, or I don't have a team yet, or like whatever it may be, you guys hear me talk all the time about consistency and it's gonna pay off, and it really is. Like, but I can remember a couple of my first team calls. Like, I had my own team calls for a while since I started, and it would be literally only myself that showed up. And no one would get on, and they would say they would, and then it would be like people were busy, or I just didn't have a big team, and like we didn't have up. Can you guys hear me? Okay, Courtney, you can hear me. Try the thing where you take over as host because our internet sucks, and it should transfer to your internet, and then just take it away with your call. Can you unmute yourself? I can't hear you.
Sorry, it's not giving me that option now.
Is it still, it says it's still recording on my end, so let's just roll with it. If I cut out, I totally apologize. Our internet is horrible and it drives me nuts. But I'll try to give you a quick introduction because I feel bad that I didn't. So Courtney, you will just tell your story. Courtney is freaking amazing. Did you guys even hear any of my spiel about full circle moment? And oh my gosh. I was just saying I had a full circle moment because I used to host team calls when I first started by myself. Like I had a team, but no one got on because everyone was new and our team wasn't big. And just the fact that now one of you guys, I was just saying it's my favorite thing in the world to see you guys lead these team calls. And it's like such an honor to mentor you guys. And I couldn't love it anymore. And I'm so, so proud of you. And I know, tears. But Courtney's going to tell her whole story and just go into it. But just honestly, guys, I mean, I've told Courtney this 1,000 times, but like the transformation I've seen in Courtney, not physical, but just as a person and her confidence and just who she's become and what she sees like her life being and the possibilities and just like watching her grow from someone so shy and like with no confidence to finally having a little bit of like body confidence and like self-love again, to talking to people about how she wants to pay it forward and then talking to strangers on the internet and then doing a live video. It's just like all stuff she would have never, ever, ever done when I first met her. And just her whole story is incredible. And she just reached diamond in the business, which is a huge milestone and huge rank. And like, I just am blown away at you, Courtney, and I just want to pass it over to you before my internet goes out, so take it away.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk for the whole time, but we'll see. I have my notes here if I look down. So a little bit about me. I started in Emily's challenge group in the beginning of September. I think by the end of October, I started to give the idea of coaching a try. With Emily's help. Thanks, Amber. With Emily's help, of course. So that was the first time that I posted like that looks delicious. I posted like my first transformation pic at like the end of October, and I got a really good response from people, but it was the first time I had ever posted anything like that. So I feel like that's the only reason why. And it actually took me until January 1st to sign my first customer, which also happened to be my best friend. So it took a lot of time for me to even build up to that. And then the months following weren't easy either. Obviously, there's a lot of trainings and a lot of videos that we watch to make us, be successful, but it's really a giant mindset game and something that I really, really struggled with. So Emily touched on my confidence, which was literally terrible when I first started Beachbody. And obviously, when I started working out, I started to like love myself again. I found that again. I started to like appreciate my body, and like self-love was like everything I could preach. And I was super happy with that developing. But then when I got into my business, there's a totally different level of confidence that comes with that too. And that really took me from January until, I'm still working on it now, but until May to really figure out what worked for me and how to be confident in my business. We listened to a call from, I think her name was Ashley. I can't think of her last name, but she is the one who preached about staying in your own lane and not playing the comparison game. And we'd heard that topic before, but it never really like set with me, or, it took me a while to like adopt that mindset. But for the first couple of months, I realized that I really wasn't where I wanted to be with my business. And like, it took me some time to reevaluate what I was doing and take a look into things to see where I was struggling. And really it was all in my head. All of those limiting beliefs that we talk about were like everything that I lived every day, and I really needed to break through that. So I started to repeat to myself every day, like, Courtney, stay in your own lane. And that's what I had to do. Basically, I just had to quit comparing myself to others, put my work in every day, trust the process, have confidence in what I was doing, and then it would start to pay off. So I started really adopting that behavior in the beginning of May, and May was the best month that I ever had. So that's exactly what I'm going to do moving forward. With not staying in your own lane, not comparing yourself to others is really hard for some people. Some people can ignore everyone else around them, but me, I really look to other people for like my own significance, which is a giant problem in my own life, not just my business. So overcoming that was hard. But you have to realize that we're all in different stages of our business and in our journeys, and you can't compare yourself to others. You know, my month 7 might be really good, and that might be scary to someone whose month 1 it is. But you just have to remember we're all in different places. I'm going to have a good day, you're going to have a good day, but we can't compare that to each other, because I might have an awesome month, you might have a bad month, but that doesn't make you any less worthy, doesn't make me any better than you, and you really have to get that out of your head. We need to be able to celebrate everyone else, and I love that. I love the girls on this team. I love when they hit their goals. But at the beginning, it was really hard for me because I thought that them being successful was me being a failure, which is a terrible, terrible mindset, which really just stems from my confidence. But you just have to push past that. But it's really hard not to see, because we're on social media. We're in 100 different groups. We have all these message threads. So we're all talking day in and day out about how good we're doing and how bad we're doing. And it's hard to not let that affect your own business. So Ashley had mentioned this staying in your own lane, putting up your blinders and not paying attention to anyone else, which isn't totally 100% feasible, because you need to know where you stand. You need to know what your team is doing. Take what they're doing and run with it. If they're doing something that's working really well, adopt that into your business. If they're doing something that's not working for them, learn and grow from that too. What worked best for me, I realized, was that I needed to turn off all of my notifications. So those weren't the first things that I looked at every day. Obviously, you're going to want to check in to your Facebook messengers, your Instagram, whatever, because you need to follow up with people that you were starting conversations with. But don't, get into like the team thread and all of that stuff if that's what's going to affect your mindset for the day. Emily always posts on Thursdays about like everyone's Success Club rankings and rank advancements and where our team stands, which is awesome. And we need to know that. We need to know where we stand. But for me, Thursdays were a very high anxiety day. Not because I didn't want other people to do well, but because that showed me where I was standing, and I didn't want to be at the bottom of the totem pole. So I really, really needed to focus on getting my work done, doing my daily vitals, putting out all my coach invites, starting my new combos, doing all my follow-ups before I would check into all of those threads and pages, because I didn't want to let that affect me negatively. I realized that before that, I was like so caught up in all of that. And when someone was having a really, really good day, I was like, great, they're doing awesome. And then I was like, oh, why am I not having a good day? And then I found I was like going completely MIA on social media. I wasn't posting, I wasn't doing my follow-ups, I wasn't starting new combos, because I thought that I wasn't good enough. What I was putting out there wasn't reaching people. But again, that's just a limiting belief. You might not struggle with that, but it's just something I struggled with, so I want to share it with you. So if you're anything like that, maybe just turn off your notifications and don't dive into anything before you do your daily work, because you have to post every day. You have to be starting combos. There's a bug. You have to be starting these new conversations to plant all of those seeds if you want to see your business take off. Another thing that I had to do was unfollow some coaches. I follow a few, but I follow the ones that like make me happy and inspire me, and I like their message. Some of them are top coaches and some of them aren't. I just like their style and who they are as a person because I think I know them. And then there's ones where just looking at their stuff gave me anxiety, and I was like, oh, I'll never be as cool as her, and like no one will ever reach it. Just unfollow them. As soon as you have one negative thought about them, just unfollow them. The other thing that Emma said, one moment, please. The other thing I really needed to do was find a tracking system that worked for me too, to make sure I was really putting in the work every day. So if you don't do it, you cannot track it, and you really need to be honest with your numbers. And I realized that that was something that I wasn't doing, and why I wasn't seeing big Success Club numbers or the success that I wanted to see. Having a visual every day of those combos that I was doing, the follow-ups, the invites, whatever, made me realize at the end of the week, like if I didn't have a giant Success Club number week, that was okay because I put in the work, so I still felt good about myself. So really everything is mindset. If you do put in the work every day, you're gonna see success in the long run. So like all those conversations that I had in April maybe might not pay off until May, but they're gonna pay off. So it's really what I did differently in the month of May that really paid off for me. Just staying in my own lane, putting up my blinders, and not looking everywhere around me until I did my own stuff. Like put my nose to the grindstone. Now I sound like my grandpa. But you just have to like dive into your business. This business is yours. It's nobody else's. And you just need to like pay attention to your own stuff. So sticking, put my notebook, don't laugh at me. Sticking with that and like the idea of posting even when you don't want to, you really have to, like there's no option because people will notice that you don't. My last 4 customers that I signed up that pushed me to Diamond were all people that I probably easily could have given up on. But I was in the mindset that I need to make this work. So I'm going to push hard to do it. And I'm just going to keep grinding every day, like not focusing on the amount of likes I was getting or comments or followers, but still just showing up every day because that's what people really need. They see that commitment and that dedication and the confidence that you have, and they went in on that. I'll tell you about these last 4 customers because they're kind of funny. So I had one girl who I invited to do 80-day obsession, and she flat out told me no, and then signed up with her mother-in-law on this Facebook fitness program called Body Boss or Body Beast. I don't even know what it was called, but it's like a 16-week program. You get this total guide, nutrition guide, and that's it. Like nothing, no true videos. Like it was literally like paper and pen, no accountability, no support. And she's like, oh, we have each other. It'll be fine. Like this is going to change my body, whatever. So I said, okay, that's fine. Like I'll give you time. I'll wait for you when you're ready, basically. And a month later, she came back. She said, Courtney, sign me up. I need 80-day obsession. This isn't working. I see you doing it every day and I want what you're doing. Signed up. She just started 80-day this past week and loves it. One girl told me no. She had tried Shakeology in the past and it was disgusting. She did Beachbody before and got no results. And I was like, you obviously weren't doing it right if you didn't get results, because who doesn't get results with Beachbody? So I fought her objections, which is something that I have never really done before because I didn't have the confidence to do so. And she said yes. And she said, I want to give it another try because I see it working for you. I see how it's changed you and I need that. One girl I had invited like 2 months ago. I don't even know if I truly invited her. I just said like, hey, thanks for watching my stories, blah, blah, blah. Totally ghosted me. And I was like, screw you. I'm done with you. 2 months later, reaches out to me and was like, Courtney, I need 80-day obsession. I'm watching you on your stories. Like, what can I do to get into this? Signed up. She starts this week. And then there's like other people like this. The very last lady I signed up that just got me to Diamond was this lady I used to work with who I didn't even think knew how to like use Facebook or the internet or whatever. Never liked one of my comments, never commented, never liked one of my posts, whatever. and said, hey, I want to do what you're doing. Tell me everything. What are my options? I'm signing up with you. And she signed up, got me to Diamond. And like, it's just all these people that tell you no, or people that you don't think are watching you. So you really, really, really have to put in the work every day and just show up, because people are going to be attracted to that. I feel like I rambled a little bit, but no. Basically, all I want to say, moral of this story is you need to stay in your own lane. You need to pay attention to your own business. Quit worrying about what other people are doing or what other people might think of your posts or the comments that you say. I always preach what Emily preached to me, and was like, you're not going to say the wrong thing to the right person, and just have confidence in what you're doing. If you believe in Beachbody and you show that to people, and you show that on your Instagram stories or your posts, like, people are going to read that and they're going to see the truth in that. Also, if you're struggling with your mindset, really fall into your personal development. That's something that I super, super needed my whole life. And I'm really glad I found that with Beachbody and Emily's group. You know, stay humble, keep those negative thoughts out of your head, and don't compare yourself to other, because you can do this. You matter. What you have to say is important. Your story matters, and you're going to touch other people's lives. That's all.
I love it. Good job, Court.
So much.
No, it all made total sense. Like, I think it flowed perfectly.
Okay.
I want to open it up for questions, and then I can kind of like recap something. So I was jotting down a couple notes of like things I wanted to touch on, but I want to open it first just so we don't run out of time. Does anyone have questions they want to ask Courtney, advice they want to ask Courtney? Feel free to unmute yourself and ask her anything.
Don't be shy.
Someone ask her a question.
Courtney,
Yeah.
how did you? Hi, Andrew. How did you? Okay, so when you were talking about combating people's objections, how did you kind of get to that point where like I guess, what was your verbiage? Or I find that that's somewhere where I struggle, because I'm like this in life, but I'm like, oh, you're not interested, like, you're not my person. Like, you have this one thing, like, that's holding you back. Like, I'm not going to fight you to do anything with me. Like, I want you to want this. So can you tell us kind of how did you get there, and what did you say? Because I need to get there.
I think I'm exactly the same way in my life. Like, I'm definitely a lover, not a fighter. So I'm not going to argue with you. Like, if that's how you want to be, that's fine. But I also remember how I felt when Emily was messaging me, and I straight up ignored her the first time that she reached out to me. But I really, really needed that, and I wanted it, but I wanted to see that she was interested in me first. Not so much, she didn't come off salesy, but like, I wanted to make sure she like was really invested in me. And so like when she started following up, and then I saw more of her posts, I was like, okay, this girl like has some credibility, and I want to join her. So I just try to think of like how I felt at the beginning. And some people need you to like reach out and pull them in, because they're not going to do it themselves. So I just have that mindset. Like, if someone tells me no, I want to dig a little deeper, and like, maybe they really do want this, but they just need me to like hold their hand through it, kind of thing, more on like an emotional level. And like, I just try to take each situation differently. Like, this girl was like, I don't like Shakeology. And I'm like, well, did you give it a fair shot? Did you blend it with ice? Did you mix it with peanut butter, whatever? And then she's like, oh, well, I did the workouts and they didn't work for me. And I'm like for a day, like a week, like I need to know more. And she's like, oh yeah, I guess I really didn't give it a shot. So it was really, it's on a personal basis, but you just have to really dig a little bit deeper. I don't know if that helps you at all, but
Yeah.
I just try to like remember who you were at the beginning of it, like when Emily was reaching out out to you and how you felt and how that person might feel too. Just because they say no doesn't mean they're defensive and don't want it. They might just be scared to say yes.
That's super helpful.
And Amber, just to add to that, in our Google Drive in the team folder, I have an entire 10-page document on objections if you need wording. So I go through everything. Like, I don't have time. I don't have money. They ghosted me, whatever. And kind of like I said in our team page, I battle objections to the point, like Courtney said, maybe they need that push. Maybe they need to see that this will actually work for them. Stuff like that. But I don't and then the stance you have is, well, I'm not wasting my time if this person doesn't actually want it. Sometimes they do want it, like Courtney said, and they just need that push. But I also get if they're not my person, if they don't see the value. But it may take, I've read something somewhere that it takes 7 interactions with someone or 7 times of asking until they actually say yes. And then it could be the best thing they ever decided to do. So my stance on it is I have my list of objections. I make it personal for that person, obviously. But I don't sit there and waste my time on it. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, I really hope this person says yes. Or some of them, yeah. I've been talking to Jill for 2 years and I want her to say yes because I know she could be a freaking rock star. But some people I send that objection to, but I'm not sitting here being oh, I can't wait for her to message me back. I just have to move on and move on to the next person because there is going to be that person that wants our help. But I really use that objection file because I got a lot of them too out of that Get Over Your Damn Self book, and she had some really good ones.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my stance on it too, if that helps.
Okay. That's helpful.
Any other questions, guys? Courtney, then I'm just going to do a little recap with you of a couple of things I jotted down that I thought were really important that you touched on. One of the things Courtney kept saying is so I want you girls to notice, Courtney had a lot of no's in the beginning. And I talked to her about those and it's going to pay off it is. And it's frustrating when you get them at the beginning and stuff. But look at the people who said no, who came back to her. Courtney wouldn't have had the success that she just had and that she's going to continue to have if she would have thrown in the towel and given up because a couple people said no. That's not how life works. I'm sorry. Did you guys see my post yesterday? I was I'm letting my tough love side come out a little bit more. But you have to get the no's. You have to get people to say no, and you have to move past that. That's part of being a business owner, is going through the ups and downs. But something Courtney said she just mentioned it, and it didn't even mean anything to her, but she was a product of the product. People messaged her saying, I need what you have, it's working. I see you're doing 80-day obsession. Courtney posts about it every day on her Instagram stories. Every day she makes a post about it, and people see that. So that's just she just browsed over it yeah, they wanted what I had, but that just goes to remind you guys, you have to be a product of the product. And there's every workout imaginable, every meal plan imaginable. You have to show your journey though and show what you're doing. And I thought that was a really good note to touch on, just because clearly if you don't believe in it and believe in what we're doing, and I don't have an amazing transformation story, but I still show my journey every day and that I've been consistent for 2.5 years now. How many people don't want to be consistent for 2.5 years? Stuff like that. So I thought that was a really good point. And then, Court, can you just touch real quick, if you have a minute still, on what did you, I wish people saw your confidence at the beginning and your confidence now. You're just totally different. And like I said, I mean that in the best way possible. And I just have seen you grow so much. I guess, what's your tips for them on growing that confidence if they need that? What did you do? And I know the answer, but what did you do to get that confidence to grow and continue to grow? Because I'm not at my final destination for confidence, and neither are you, and we all have to work on that daily. But because you really had a huge shift. So what made that shift for you? And it was not an overnight thing. This has been working since September. So just touch on that a little.
Yeah, I know we were just talking yesterday about how much my confidence has grown, but how much I am still watching it grow and how much I'm still capable of. But first it started with just the physical transformation too, because a lot of my confidence stemmed from low self-esteem and body image issues. So once I started to feel good about myself, it started to radiate in all other aspects of my life. So it started with that and kind of just like snowball effect. A lot of it was personal development and just getting out of my own head. Like everything that I doubted about myself or didn't like about myself was just in my head. There's all these people around me that love me and see good things in me, but I just couldn't see myself. So reading personal development really changed that for me. Also just being in this team environment. Like I am one of those people who prides myself on having one best friend, and that's all I ever needed, but I didn't realize that I needed all of this too. So having this support system and this community of people that believe in you every day and tell you every day that you're a freaking rock star and that they love you and want you to do well. Like I've never had that many people in my life that want to see me do well. That is a game changer. Like just knowing that I have the, like 25 new best friends that want the best for me is like no other. I think that is the biggest shift, is just knowing that there are people out there that believe in me, and knowing that I can reach strangers and like help them make that transformation too is huge. Because I mean, I was just a stranger to you and you freaking changed my life. So like I want to be able to do that for other people. You know, there's times even with the business where I wanted to throw in the towel because I didn't believe in myself, but I believe in the business. So falling into that too, and knowing the potential that it has and what it can do for my family, what it can do for my future, like keeps me pushing every day. So really just personal development and falling into the business is all you can do.
I seriously like just got teary-eyed.
I got a little choked up.
I know, I heard it, and then I was like, oh. Two things I want to add to that you may have even realized, or maybe you don't realize, but that I know has helped your confidence too. If you guys remember, a couple months ago, we had a call with Crystal Courier, and she did a call for us on building your confidence and like being true to who you are and stuff. And one of her tips for building confidence was just doing the dang thing. Like every day doing those little things to step out of your comfort zone. So Courtney wouldn't be gaining confidence if she didn't do a live video. And I said, Courtney, you should do a live video in our sneak peek. She was scared to death. Like, she was like, I'm going to throw up. I can't do this. Like, her face was all red. She was nervous. And now she does live videos all the time. And she was like, I kind of like that. But it was like, you're not going to grow and get more confident if you don't start to step out of that comfort zone little by little. It's not all at once, but the fact that you stepped out first by just doing a workout and a meal plan, and then you stepped out again by trying coaching, and then you stepped out again by posting. Posting for you at first was really hard, and now it's like nothing.
Never posted on my social media really whatsoever, and I never even really posted a selfie. I can look back at my Instagram that's been there for like 10 years or however long Instagram has been around, and I probably have like 2 selfies. So that first post, which was me in a sports bra and shorts, was huge. And it definitely is just like busting out of your comfort zone. And then that's my new norm. So now people are like, hey, you didn't post a sweaty selfie. You're like, are you okay? It just becomes your new normal.
But it's those little baby steps. And like, I remember just like a month or so ago, you posted you working out in your sports bra, and I was like, oh my God, Courtney, like, and you're like, I would have never done that before. And like, it's just those little things adding up over time, but taking those steps to force yourself out just a little bit, and that really grows. So I thought that was a cool example. And then live events. Like, I honestly, like, Courtney and I went to Super Saturday in Pittsburgh, and her business has changed since that live event. Like, it was, I think, seeing the potential, seeing the business, just hanging out with like me and Caitlin and actually seeing people on the team. And then we had the retreat, and honestly, I think that's where you had that mindset shift and your limiting beliefs. And that was the beginning of May, and then you just had your best month, and Summit is in a week. So like going to those live events, whether you like noticed that or not, I definitely saw it in you. Every time we had a live event, you had a flip switch, and I love seeing that. I say that's my favorite moments. Like, more than when you hit a big goal, more than when you hit diamond, is seeing it flip in your eyes and just being like, this girl gets it. Like, she just had a flip switch. And like, that just makes my heart as a mentor like burst when like Courtney was so new in the business still when we went to Super Saturday, and I could just see it when she was like, this kind of makes sense. Like, maybe I could do this. And I'm just like, it just warms my heart. That's my favorite part of mentoring. So I just wanted to throw those in there real quick. Does anyone have any last minute questions before we jump off? Thank you so much, Courtney. You did amazing. And I see many more team calls coming for the future, because I know a couple months ago you would have never done this.
Never.
All right, guys, if no one else has a question, we're all going to jump off so Courtney can get to work on time. Thank you so much, Courtney. You did amazing. I'll post the recording tomorrow. It's nice to see everyone, and go do your daily vitals like Courtney said, or you're not going to grow your business. Bye, guys.
Bye.